What is going on? Welcome to Greggles TV. This TV that you see right here is the newest TV from TCL. It's their NXTFrame TV. So it's a frame television and it sits flush on the wall, so you can't really see any wires or anything like that. And it's got a frame that goes around it. And you have artwork. You have and I'll go through all of this, but basically you have a button on here that if you press it, it brings you into the artwork side of this, and you have this whole thing built in. So it's really cool. So it's a television and like artwork. So let's go first talk about the artwork. So you can get to it a few ways. You can basically press this button. This is going to be the easiest. This button in the very top left, you press that, it goes right into the artwork here. And you can see at the bottom, you can, on the bottom left, right down there, you can go directly and it'll just turn on the artwork. You can go into gallery and this will show you things that are already downloaded onto this. You can go to AI art and create your own art. You can go into relaxing things. This is really cool. It's got little video things. And you also have moments where it'll be like your photos, your photo wall, your favorites, your digital clock, things like that. So we'll go into this first one here. If I just click on that, it's going to automatically load up artwork and it will change every, whatever my timing I set it to. And I'll show you how to change that in a little bit. But basically you got these cool little things right here. It's really nice. It's like beautiful artwork. It looks like it's painted onto the screen. It's awesome. Gallery, that's what this is. And they have all these different things, categories that you can choose from. If you come into say like Masterpieces Alive, this is going to be like little videos that you can click on, kind of like what we just saw with that one. It'll make it into a little video. If you go to museum, these are actual paintings. Like, so you can go and choose these different Van Gogh paintings. Say you like one of these, for instance, maybe you want this one, you just click on it. And after a few seconds, it will load in. It'll show you who painted it. And I love it. It's really, really awesome stuff. That writing will go away and it'll just sit like this. And you have this just sitting on the back of your television display. And it's awesome. And if you press to the left or to the right, it'll actually change it automatically, but it will set again, it'll change after a certain amount of time, usually if you have it set that way. But once it downloads it, it's very, very quick and you get these beautiful paintings. You can even press up or down, or you can play music. If you press this button, it'll end up playing music. You have different tracks that you can play and it'll automatically play music while it's playing or showing the artwork. So it's pretty cool. You can even choose different frame styles here if you want it to be. You can see it'll look just like that, or you can fill up the whole screen. For me, it's like I already have this in a frame, so I'd rather have no frame at all. I think that's a much better look to this. And again, you press down, I said select, but you press down to bring up this menu of things here. But still, regardless, if you press select, it just tells you what the name of the painting is. You can even star these or set it as your default. If you press down and look at these, there you go. And then going back, you have digital pictures that you can choose from. Photography, these are different photographic things that have been taken that you can load up if you like photographs better than paintings, all kinds of different looks to that. You have TCL art. This is by Lee Pinkson, and it will show these. And then it shows, if you just want to see everything that they have, you can come in here and press and hold OK for more options, I guess. So let's just press and hold OK. So you can set that as a default or favorite. But yeah, tons of stuff to choose from if you just want to see everything at once rather than looking at each individual category. AI art, this is really, really cool stuff. So you can choose the category of what you want to create. You can see you can do a photograph or abstract art or pen and ink. So we'll just do a Van Gogh impression if we select into that. These are things that I've actually created by creating my own AI stuff on this television. It's really, 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 really cool stuff. You can go to the top here, and if you don't like one of these, I can tap that and delete it if you want. There you go. You can even see what you've created so far at the very top. Going back. So back into AI artwork. So if you want to create your own, again, you choose the category you want. We'll go back into Van Gogh and you see AI art. It's the first one. So I'm just going to tap on it, choose what I want it to be, like a dream or gorgeous or peaceful or pleasant or mysterious. And then I can either just do something random or I can choose one of these categories. So maybe I want it to be something like a snowscape. So I have mysterious, snowscape, Van Gogh impression. I press to the right and it creates a Van Gogh looking type painting of some sort, and I can save that if I like it, or I can hit retry, or I can cancel it altogether. So that's what I'm saying. Like this stuff's pretty cool. You have basically unlimited artwork that you can create with AI, and you have all these different ways to do it. We'll do photography. I don't think I've really done this one too much, so we'll do this one. We'll do the same thing, mysterious, and then we'll do lake. And we'll see what this creates. This is kind of like, there's a lake one in the back here, but it's going to create an image. And there you go. It creates a mysterious looking, and I can even hit retry and it'll create the same category. Everything's the same. It'll just recreate the image for me. So again, unlimited like screensavers that you have on here. Pretty nice stuff. Otherwise, you have these relax things too. These relax things are pretty neat. So these relax things allow you to just choose what you want and it'll play music behind it. I liked this one. I thought this was pretty cool. Ocean sight. So I can choose this, or I like this one. I was just doing this the other day. I might mute it. So I'm going to mute it. I'm going to mute it because it plays music. But basically, I have this screensaver of a fish tank on my television just randomly playing. And it just plays forever basically until I turn it off. And you have these other ones as well. I have this reef one. I haven't looked at this one. We'll see what this one looks like. If this looks cool, because I really like that coral reef type one, or the bright blue one. But yeah, it's awesome stuff. I guess it must be AI. Those fish look a little bit digitized to me, but it's still, regardless, it's pretty neat stuff. And then you even have, I guess can we create one? What's this? This is just like waves, I guess. Let the TV play your device music. Okay, so that's just to play music. But here's a soundscape. You can choose what you want. Let's look at natural rhythm. Let's do the ocean, see if the ocean moves. The ocean should be moving here, but let's just make sure. After it loads up here. There we go. Awesome. Like, this is beautiful. Imagine just having that, sitting back, playing some music. This would be incredible for that. So we're going to go back. That's all the artwork stuff here, your moments. If you want to add this stuff, you do need the TCL at home app in order to add photos and things like that, your artwork, if you want to. But if you go to the very top right, you have settings. If you go into settings, this is where you can change your theme. So right now I have it to Dawn Birch, but you can also do a midnight look to these when you're like pulling up your artwork. I like dark screens usually, but for some reason I like the artwork to be a little bit different. This is a Luna white, so it's a really bright white look to it. But I really liked the kind of grayish Dawn Birch a little bit better for me. I think that was a little bit easier on my eyes, but it wasn't too harsh like the white. This is where you can, when will wallpaper play after TV is idle? You can see 2 minutes, 1 minute, or just completely turn it off. Wallpaper settings. You can play background music when it's showing the wallpaper. You can do according to the time you choose, switch to the next art wallpaper. So you can do 1, 5, 10, 15, or that's it, just 1 through 15. Wallpaper content, choose the art wallpaper and playing style. You can do random or default, classified. And if you do classified, you can choose different things to show. So I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to do AI art and museum. I think that's the stuff I like. Otherwise, you can choose random or default, like I said. And then the about just shows you nothing really, so you don't really need that. But that's the whole artwork thing. This thing is fantastic. It's one of the main reasons you get one of these televisions. Back to the home screen. This is your home screen. At the top, you have everything that's for you, basically anything it thinks you might want to watch. It has your apps that you've already downloaded. It has what you can continue to watch on here. It has free live news and stuff like that, top selling movies that you can buy. sporting events that are upcoming that it thinks you might want to watch. You can browse by different genres. It's pretty easy to navigate, but it also, I can see like Google TV becoming a little bit like too much to look at. Oh, look at yours truly. But still, pretty easy to navigate. If you hit the back button, it goes right to the top. So again, I'll go right to the bottom, and then I'm going to hit the back button once on here, which is right here, and it goes right to the top. You have live. This is anything live that you can go in here and just watch. You have your library. This is everything that you own, which I don't own a lot of stuff. TCL, this is all the TCL, like TCL branded television stuff that you can come in here and watch for free. Search, you can search for anything from apps to movies to pretty much anything. And you can press and hold your microphone button and be like, show me Tom Hanks movies. And this will show us any and all Tom Hanks movies that it has access to. Netflix and YouTube. I can look at any of this stuff. And if I like something, I can, maybe I want to watch Dragnet. I can click on that. It's going to bring me into Netflix. I can watch it on Netflix. Continuing on, if we go over to here, this will bring us into settings, which I'll show you in a minute. Now, there's a couple ways to bring up settings. The way I showed you right here. You can also, you might not know this, if you press and hold the home button, it'll bring you directly in there as well from any screen that you're on. Now, with your apps here, if you want to move these around, all you're going to do is long press the select button, which is right here, this big white button in the middle. Like maybe I want my TCL TV to be flip-flop. I'm going to press and hold it. I'm going to hit move, and then I press to where I want to go. When I'm done, I press that select button again, and that's how you move your apps. And you can do that again. Like say I want this thing to be moved. I can press here, and that's moved. And I don't have to, I can keep doing this until I'm done again, because when I hit done, then I would have to long press to move it again. But just tap it, do that. If I want my Spotify to move over a little bit, there we go. It's moved. When I'm done, just hit done and you're good to go. Now going to the app screen, this is where you can download apps. Like I mentioned, you can search for them or you can browse through them just from this apps tab at the top here. This is browsing for them. If you want to download something, maybe you want to download Crunchyroll, just tap on it and then hit install, and it'll install right to that tab row on your home, on your For You tab right there at the top. But that's how you download apps, and you can search for apps as well. Now, if you want to uninstall an app, there's a couple ways to do it. First way is to go to the For You, find the app that you want to get rid of. Let's just say you want to get rid of Apple TV. Press and hold the select button, go into View Details, and then you can go to uninstall. Now, before we get into settings, I do want to show you the remote a little bit. I showed you a couple buttons here. We have the button at the top, which goes into your artwork. Then you have your button at the top that allows you to turn the TV off. If you want to switch profiles, tap that little person. If you tap that, you can choose different profiles. If you long press the microphone, you press and hold it. What time is it? And then let go and talk. It will give you the time. If you press this button in the top right, that brings up the settings menu. So that's another way to bring up your settings menu. You have your directionals and your select. You have your back button. You have your home button. You can go home from anywhere. You have this button right here, which brings up your antenna. So if you want to watch live television or cable, that will do that for you. Then you have this button right here. When you press that button, it brings up your different HDMI ports and things like that you can select, or AirPlay, and it's just easier to click into something if you want. Below that, or to the right of that, if you press that, that's going to bring up your virtual remote. Certain apps allow you to use a virtual remote. Then press this. This is going to bring up your TV settings if you want to make it brighter, or change your picture mode, which I have it set to Smart HDR, picture settings, dynamic, any of these settings that you want on, you can turn them on. And we'll go through these in a different part of the store. You have your buttons right here to change your channels. And then you also have your quick buttons if you want to load up Netflix or YouTube and just press it. It'll load up that said app for you. You also, on the side of the remote, you have your buttons to lower and raise the volume. You have your mute button. You have your batteries. Your batteries are AAAs. It takes 2 AAA batteries. It comes with batteries inside of the box. I do want to talk about the HDMIs on the back of the television. If I were you, I'd hook everything up beforehand. You might even want to connect all 4 HDMIs ahead of time. That way you don't have to basically pull the TV off. You might have to pull the TV off in order to get access to the HDMIs. Otherwise, you could, I guess, lift the TV away from it and access it that way as well if you want to do the access to the HDMI ports on the back. Now, we're going to go back into settings. So if I want here, I can click this and it'll automatically go into my screensaver. Going back in there, I can change my inputs right here real quickly. So you like multiple ways to get to multiple things. Quick way to get to your Wi-Fi, your picture settings, your accessibility, your Bluetooth, and your notifications will show up here as well. And you can clear them if you want. You see they're all cleared. But let's go to the top here and go to settings. This is where you have channels and inputs. If you set up your channel scan because you're doing antenna TV or cable television, this is where you can add that stuff. You have your external inputs. This is where you can come in here. External devices control, CEC. So this is great. When you turn on your PlayStation, your Xbox, or your Apple TV, your Roku, or any other streaming thing that you have, or video game thing you have hooked up to this, when those things turn on, they'll automatically turn on your television and turn it off. So turn all 3 of these things turned on. Going back here, this is where you can change the names of your inputs. So HDMI 1 is eARC. So if you have like a little soundbar or speaker system hooked up to it, this is where it change for you right there. You also have your HDMIs. So I have this set to, it's called HDMI 3. But if I want to, I can come in here and choose a different name or set a custom name for it. So I'm going to change this because it is an Apple TV that I have it connected here. So I'm going to change this to Apple TV so that if my wife doesn't know how to switch it to the Apple TV and she's trying to do it with the remote, she can do it right here. So if you double press that, that'll go. And there we go. I'm going to hit OK. And now I know that HDMI 3 is my Apple TV. So you can change any of the names of those things. Going back again. Display and sound. This is where you can change your picture settings. So I have it set to Smart HDR, and that's probably what I would have everyone do because it gives the most vivid, powerful looking photo. You have your brightness. I have it set to 100. This TV is not the brightest television I've ever had, and if you have it in a bright room, you're definitely going to want to put that up to 100. Color saturation 50 of your advanced settings for brightness and stuff like that. If you want to change any of these things, your color settings, you can change your temperatures, the clarity. I'm just seeing if there's anything I want you to turn down or off. Motion. This is all fine for me. Expert calibration. And you can also apply it to all picture settings. This is the current input. I can do it to all inputs, so that's what I'm gonna do. I like the setting I have it set for, so I set it for all of that. You can also restore it if you need to, if you don't like those settings. You shouldn't have to mess with this, but this is where you can control your auto detect settings and your aspect ratio and your overscan stuff. If like you're watching something and it's not showing the complete photo, this is where you can mess with that. Audio. I don't mess with this too much, but if you wanted to, they have different sound modes in here and things like that. If you want to hear the dialogue more, you can turn this on, make it low, medium, or high, and it'll lower the background noise of whatever's going on while the person's speaking. Audio output, this is where you can set it to, it's set to auto by default, but if you're having any issues with it, switching to your ARC or your wired headphones or internal speakers, this is where you can change any of those settings. I have an ARC set up, but I just set it to auto. It's smart enough to know to connect to that. Intelligent settings, this is where I would turn off adaptive brightness. This, if you have this on, basically if it's brighter or darker in your room, it'll adjust to that. And maybe you like that, but I turn it off because I always want it bright. Adaptive content, I turn that off. Adaptive color temperature, I turn that off as well. But if you like the way it looks when it adapts to different looks of your room based off what the lighting is inside of it, it will do that for you. Intelligent sound, I have those things turned off as well. But again, turn them on if you want it to adjust automatically for you. This is where you can connect to your Wi-Fi network if you want. And yeah, you can even check your internet connection if you want. Accounts and sign in. This is where you can add an account or add a kid's account. Next up under settings is apps. You can come in here also and uninstall apps that you don't want. Just go to see all apps, choose the app you have, and then you can hit uninstall. You can also come in here if you're having trouble with an app and basically clear the data if you want, and that'll get rid of all the sign-in information and stuff like that. Going back to settings, go into system. Here's your accessibility settings if you need to turn on any of these things. You have your about, and this is where you can check for system updates. Come in here, go to network update, and it will search for any and all updates that are available for your TV. I don't have any, so it's not going to show any right now. Change the device name of your television. Click in here and you can change it. I have mine set up as TCL Frame. If you're resetting your TV, this is where you do it. For whatever reason, you're having issues with it or you're selling it, that's where you can reset it. Status, this is where you can find your serial numbers and device IDs and things like that. Going back to system, if you're having trouble with your date and time, this is where you can change it. Your languages, if you need to change it to a different language because you speak a different language. You have your keyboard, which you probably shouldn't need to change, but there it is. Storage, you have up to 52 gigs of storage on here, which is a lot. It's probably 64 in reality. Ambient mode, this is where you can change if you want to show your Google Photos or your art gallery or custom AI art. You can show the weather, the time, turn any and all of this stuff off if you want. Might be helpful. Time. Should probably show the time, huh? Show the time with ambient mode. Oh, it's already set to that. So cool stuff in here. Power and energy is a good one. So power on behavior. So when the TV turns on, it's going to automatically go to your Google TV screen. But if you want it to go to like your last HDMI port you were using because you always use that or you like it for whatever, to go back to that, select last used input. Energy saver, turn this off. It's going to, you can see by enabling this, the following settings will be modified. Your brightness goes lower, your adaptive brightness goes on. When watching 4 hours or shorter, please notice that these changes may affect screen performance. Turn this off. This basically makes your TV worse. So just turn it off. When watching, automatically turn off when watching. So if you're watching something, you can set this so the TV just automatically shuts off after a certain period of time. When it's inactive, I have my TV to shut off after 20 minutes. You can set a sleep timer right here. So like you're going to bed, come in here and you can turn a sleep timer on. Maybe you want the TV to automatically turn off after a certain period of time. That's where you do it. Quick start. I turn this on basically when quick start is deactivated. Network standby for casting will not be available. But by turning this on, your TV turns on and off really quickly. You also have doze mode. Doze mode allows the TV to perform background processing and updates intermittently while in standby. I turn that on. Screenless service, when enabled, allows certain functions and commands to automatically turn on the TV. So I turn that on as well. I like, if I want to be able to access the television by sending a video to it and I have it off, it'll automatically turn it on for you. This is where you can cast your television from your screen on your phone. And you can have it so it says let others control. I have it set while casting. I don't have it set to always. I think that's what it is by default. System sounds, I turn them off. I don't want to hear the blips and the boops, so I turn those off. But if you like them, you can change the sound of them from low, medium to high. AirPlay and HomeKit settings, wirelessly share content, so you can tap into this and let it you can send stuff from your iOS devices. Sign into your TCL account. You can set parental controls. Game Master is great if you're a gamer. I have it set to auto on all 4 ports. Basically what it does is it's going to allow me to have when I have a game thing turned on, I'm going to automatically be able to get better colors on my game, higher hertz, all of that stuff. So set that, just keep it to auto. You shouldn't have to mess with it. Advanced settings, standby indication bar. You can have that on, normal flashing or off. Usage modes, keep it at home. Store modes if you're like trying to show it off in a store. If you need to restart your television because you're having an issue with it, instead of pulling out the power plug, just hit restart here on the system. Going back to settings, this is where you're going to come in here if you need to add a new controller or anything like that. You can hit pair accessory. And that's pretty much it about this television. It's a great television. It's really nice. I've been enjoying it very, very much so. It looks great. And yeah, if you want to pick it up, it's linked down below. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road. Peace.